Should we see if the king's in and have tea? You ever met the king?
We had a call yesterday.
From Prince Charles?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
King Charles?
Yeah.
That's nice.
He congratulated us with the result. He said you shouldn't be upset because you're the best, in his opinion. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Even if Quick's so.
Because I think that I am sat in the car now with the best lady competitive ballroom dancer in the world currently.
Oh, thank you.
I think so. But has it always been ballroom? Has it always been ballroom that you loved?
No. Actually, I was more Latin girl.
Right.
Until 18 years old. And actually, I was always 10 dancer.
Right.
And winning Blackpool, juniors, juveniles, then youth. So always try to keep all two programs together. But always in my heart somehow was Latin.
Really?
Yeah, more favorite. I felt more natural movement. Yes.
Hang on, I forgot to plug this in actually. There we go. Sorry that my face is so close. Now everybody, I'm plugged in now. I used to hate ballroom as a child. Yeah, I hated it. And everyone said to me when I was young, "Oh, you'll be a ballroom dancer. You'll be a ballroom dancer." No, I don't want to be a ballroom dancer. I want to be a Latin dancer. I didn't like it at all. So it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think that as a child, Latin is easier to get into and appreciate or understand? And it's only when you get older and more mature that you appreciate the qualities of ballroom. What do you think?
I think it's a very good question, which I'm also trying to analyze. Don't have clear answer, but we'll share with you my thoughts about that. I think Latin is just more the music dictates, right? So of course, I guess it will come from the family and your preferences of the family, where kid was grown, right?
Yeah.
What type of the music is favorite and all of this. But I think Latin American rhythms and all, it's like, from at least what I know from myself, 3 years old, I was like, when I heard kind of Latin rhythms, I already was moving this way. So
yeah, it's easier for a child to clap along to a cha-cha or a jive than a piece of a beautiful waltz music, isn't it?
Yes.
Because it doesn't inspire them quite the same.
And then of course, I guess our time, or even 90s and some time ago, also still fashion also dictates the things. So probably maybe some years ago it was more popular ballroom.
Right.
So you will naturally follow the fashion. Yeah.
So you say fashion as in terms of dance styles when you were younger?
I would go more for music, right? So it was more classical thing, and people maybe was dressing different or something more. Yeah, more people maybe. It was more famous ballroom at some time, no?
Well, historically,
era,
yeah, of course, yeah, because Latin was relatively new, wasn't it? I mean, ballroom's been around since, well, for a long time.
Yeah.
Long history. But Latin only came in the 1950s and 60s and things, and then they still did it in tail suits, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which is bizarre if you think about it. That you go to a championships and
so
they just
classic form.
They don't do anything. They do the ballroom and then they just stay in the same clothes and do the Latin.
Yes.
Yeah, it was quite different. See, I think Latin has evolved tremendously.
Yes.
Personally, I don't think ballroom has developed in quite the same way, has it?
No. So that's what I also, if we're talking about the kids, I think it's very important who is your teacher. So if my teacher would explain me the way I would teach now kids about ballroom movement, and that it's not about, because it is actually, I'm sorry, Latin dancers, I think ballroom dancing is much more difficult to harmonize movement with two people together, without being on the distance, and actually trying to not be the same in the same movement, mirroring each other, but finding your own coordination. It's difficult, right? But the way I would teach now kid, I would find it very interesting, and it would be interesting, I think, ballroom than or even similar. I think that's related to the evolution, because ballroom dancing, people think that it's conservative, it should be this way and this way, and you can't do that much in this way. That's what we always struggling.
And restricted, I suppose, because people feel, don't they, that I know I did as a child, that you're very restricted and regimented in a position all the time, and you have no chance to be expressive, do you? And whereas in Latin, of course, you can stand on your own and flail your arms around and still look quite good. And it's right. That's why Latin is so easy. Easy. Anyone can do Latin. Anyone.
But that's why I think it's very important to explain.
I'm joking, of course.
I think in general is a movement. There is nothing what is difficult or easy. So it is about the movement, and the principles are the same. So even now I'm thinking, as a ballroom dancer, things which I know, I would do much better Latin now.
Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely right. I've found that as well in my years of being retired, because I was a 10 dance champion. I was UK Open 10 dance champion. So I did Latin a lot as well, but I'm retired 12 years, but my Latin is now better than it ever was. And I stopped doing Latin in 2002. So 21 years ago, but I can now dance better Latin because of my understanding of the body better. And it's funny, isn't it, how?
100%.
Again, you're right, it's the teachers though, because I've said this before as well, and I'll say it again. I think there's a lot of teachers that don't actually know what they're doing.
For sure.
I don't think they understand what they're doing at all.
And I think very important to teach, no matter which age, actually instinctive movement is very important. Not because normally what we teach, or teachers teaching, what you did with your body, your experience, right? You're sharing your experience. How would you do that? But there is millions ways to do things, right? So,
and not every single person is the same, are they? So many, I mean, you've probably had the same thing. I know I did as a professional and as an amateur. You would go into a studio and you would have the lesson of the week. So that week, that teacher is teaching everybody the same thing. And it doesn't work that way, because that's not the way of nurturing talent, is it?
Of course.
So how have you nurtured, because you're not the dancer now that you've always been. You've obviously clearly found a pathway, haven't you, to become the dancer you are. So how have you managed to nurture your talent to become Valeria Agikyan? How have you done that?
I think first it was realizing, so actually that I think it happened when I needed to decide which program I'm choosing. So always Latin was kind of better, but then I split with partner and I chose ballroom because of my height, right? So I understood that probably I will be weird in professional or amateurs looking on the floor, very tall, long legs, long arms. Even now I'm struggling with ballroom, same things. But and then friendly speaking, I thought that actually in ballroom not many great girls. So I thought I can be one of them.
Right.
I would like to be one of them. So I really felt that I want to develop my individuality, myself. You can see that through the way how I dressing. So for me it is very big part of everything, right? It's not just a dress or something. Like people asking me why, how many ideas? It's not about that. It's a whole thing. I don't know. It's all gesture, no?
It's who you are.
Yes, exactly. That's part of me.
So you're working on like a package of everything. Everything.
Yes.
So even the hat that you're wearing today.
Yes. So the movement, the way you walk, it's going also from the, of course, life. It's not only that's it. Now I'm on the floor and I'm like that. And I'm a different person. No, you need to.
So it's not a character as such.
No,
it is who you are now.
Yes.
Right.
I also actually interesting because people say to me that I don't know how in English to say that a person has few personalities.
Yep, schizophrenic.
Laura told me
multi-personality disorder.
That she never saw more than me.
Really?
That I can change the personalities. That's interesting what people noticing. So actually they say that in life I'm different than on the floor. So to your question is just I just decided that I want to be special, and I started to dig in myself. myself and really feel what I like and how I would like to be, and studying about
the thing is, you see, are we not all special? We're all special, aren't we?
Yes.
But do you think then that for many years, if we just take dancing, because of course it happens in many things, but people try to restrict you and put you in a box and say, no, you can't do it this way, you have to do it this way, so therefore that actually restricts your specialness.
Yes.
And then you have no opportunity to become who you are.
Yeah, but that's your personal choice, right? So I had a few, of course, learning from experience, I guess. You walk the path and you learn from mistakes or from good and bad, right? So I had a couple of, but that related to my dancing. So my look, I feel very much relating to my dancing as well. So I had one competition when I wore one black and one white dress. It was black ball. I will not mention the names, but no matter. Walking out the floor, one lady teacher tell me, black dress was amazing, white was so.
Right.
I walk next, another lady, and they're both so you know how I normally listen opinion of the person who I actually like, right? So who I always look at and can get some inspiration. And then another also beautiful lady dancer say to me, oh, white dress was so beautiful and black was so.
Yeah.
So in that moment, it was just click in my head that I'm like, okay, two beautiful lady dancers, and in life and in on dancing floor, completely different opinion. So is it about listening others or literally understanding what do you want? Because I have this, and in dancing again, it's the same thing. When I really feel, today I'm special, no opinion can, you might have opinion, I will listen, I will appreciate, but if I feel great, and I feel people might like it or don't like it.
It doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter, but but that people recognize that. They recognize you, so you are not just invisible in the room, right? People with personality, just with who you speak on the street, you would, some people just shine, no?
Yes.
So like that. So I understand that it's very much opinion, and we had also competitions with Dusan when we tried to please everyone, and it was the worst competition ever which we done. And after that we learned, and the most interesting that end result, and you feel bad, really bad. So that was worst result ever. We felt, until now we remember, we know when you dance and people turn in the head, they kind of they ignore you, and
they'd
you
rather
feel
not look
that
at you.
they're so much embarrassed to look at you. So we remember that. It was also big lesson for us. From that moment we decided, I'm sorry, you might like it or not like it, but we would like to, if we spend it's time of your life, it's your years, you're putting that on the floor and you want to deliver it your way and to live that life your way and not somebody's way, right? And then of course you take the responsibilities, right? So might be result not that well, you might like famous sentence, you need to please the majority. I don't want to please the majority.
You want to please, you want to please the majority of one, don't you?
Yeah.
Which is you.
Exactly.
Well, maybe Dusan.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that.
Now, we are in such a subjective industry, so everyone has their own opinion, as you say. How do you deal with the criticisms then? How is that? Because you have to be so mentally strong to have the path, or take the path that you've chosen, because so many dancers over so many years have decided to to go along with what everyone says that they should do, and not really truly dance for their heart, which is why I think dancing at the moment is ballroom dancing has been stifled, because if you go back 20 years you had many couples that were being very true to themselves, and all of the couples in the final were very different. They all had their own interpretation of everything.
Yes, absolutely.
They weren't all trying to do the same thing. They were doing they were doing ballroom dancing, but in their own way.
Yes.
And it seems that has been gotten rid of,
Yes.
doesn't it? And there's very few couples, I would put you and Dusan at the very top of this, that are actually truly doing what they believe rather than what they're being told, so to speak.
Yeah.
How do you cope with being told all the time, no, you can't do it like that?
So
no, you can't do it
I
like
think critics are good, but they need to be constructive. So because we want to evolve and get better, of course we listen the critics. But then very important how this person say this critic, because what I notice on many lessons, on many teachers, so what's happening, what I feel with couples, you are comparing to others. So let's say very famous, no secrets, people tell us, because need to say something, right? We're comparing, and somehow we start to have only two things on which we are judging now, is the space and I don't know, consistency. No, time actually nobody judging at this moment. I don't ever hear that your time is wrong. It's normally space, consistency or something like that.
Consistency of line or consistency
of line, or from the beginning to the end, delivered, yes, intention. So we hear, let's say, example, it can be anything, it can be literally anything.
Right.
Your competitors have this and you don't have this.
Right.
So you need to improve this. You're winning on your strength.
Yeah.
So why I need to improve something which other couple has anyway better? Why I need to be the same or even better?
Yeah.
I have my things to do. So I feel this kind of always measure to, like, this is good, so let's, so who said that is good? So that's why I'm seeing under 21 and everybody the same.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They are.
Because everybody looking the picture or judging by video. Okay, look, they are the champion. Their elbow is like this, or their natural turn is like this. They smile like this. Their time is like this. So you need to. So somebody has example. That's not how it should be. So how we, again, it's personal, right? But our evolution is that we getting the critics, and then we thinking, is it really what we feel? We want to improve. Is it really what we feel is not good enough in our product? Not because of someone. So never relating to someone. It's in relation to us. So which aspect we want to? So it's always about us. It's not about others. We don't want to compare to anyone. They develop they walk their path and walking our path. That's it. So I think never, we never check what other couples doing, or even on previous generations, we don't try to copy anyone.
Really? Okay. So if I was to ask you who has inspired you in your dancing, is it
Of course I had my moments. Then when, I mean, now at this moment only myself can inspire me, and I can, if I have inspiration, it's actually from out of dancing world.
Right.
So I'm going somewhere, I try to be more open-minded than dancing world. But of course, like even few years ago, or when I was younger, of course many great dancers, golden era, who of course was inspiring me, and ladies and also men, the couples, famous couples, of course. It was when everybody was looking videos, and I can't say that not, but never had actually approach of copying something. I might see, I might like, I might relate to that. It's like, let's say, you cooking a pasta, right? You have a recipe.
Yep. Well, I know. I do what I feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do what I feel.
So
sometimes.
you approximately know what is that, right? But you will not like measure things, and even if you have a recipe, you still will. Everybody has their own pasta, no?
Yeah. Hang on, we just need to check this, because it's possible that my microphone has not been working. Right. I've had no trouble at all. And the last one and this one now so far, a little bit of issue, but there we go. Right.
You need to be perfect.
Oh, well, you can't be perfect, can you? You have to just be as good as you can be. So we had a temporary interlude there. Never mind. What were we talking about? We were talking about being yourself, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
And critics. How we're getting the critics, right?
Mm.
Yeah, we are.
So you must go in for some lessons with people.
Yeah.
That really don't like you.
No, we don't go to people.
You don't go to people like that anymore? I'm sure you must have done though. And then
Before,
you realised.
Before, yeah.
This is a waste of time.
Yeah, because you understand that you don't like me, I don't like you. It's wasting of time. So that's it. Some lessons you just don't click, right? Some lessons you don't. From any lessons you can learn, right? But with some information you just feel it's not coming to your body. It's just not there. You're trying to hear, it's just not sponging, right?
Yeah.
You cannot absorb it. So then you're spending time. Then also you feel that you don't like each other personally. So why to do that? Right?
Yeah, and you see, there's many couples that all go to the same teachers because they feel they have to, and actually they're really wasting their time and wasting their money, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that's also one very important problem, is to have too many lessons. People going on the floor, confused, not sure what they are producing. It's just how to develop like that.
Well, again, if you have too much information, how can you possibly have your own thoughts?
Exactly.
Because you're constantly
opinion. You're thinking what other people thinking, and again, that's every teacher. There is no recipe. Every teacher just sharing with you their own way, how they did it.
Yeah.
And they have their own type of the body, and it's their own path. So, yeah. And they don't see you from day to day, right? We always say you need to be every day with your master,
right,
to evolve.
Okay, where does that saying come from? Have you heard that in like martial arts or something?
This is very famous, no?
Is it? I've never heard it, but maybe that's because I'm a little bit ignorant.
You need to share every day to learn with the master. Yeah. Because especially when you are already so good, you can't just fix things for 2 hours. It's a process. It's you exploring things, you learn from things.
So what's so your team then must be quite small, I guess. Your learning team.
We now trying to make it really small.
Right. Okay.
Because also now at this time it's really is not. We came to the point when it's really. Of course we want to win, but it's always, as Andrew Sinkins say, it's always a bonus. Yeah. To win is a bonus, but it's not anymore a priority, because you understand, and fortunately or unfortunately our business turned the way that first you are or six you are, it's not related to even how famous you are or how much money you earn. Is all because of social media and everything, how it's developing is all upside down. So at this moment in time, we understand that we win or no win, how many titles we will have, so many federations now. I can open 10 of my federations and make 10 world championships and be 20 times world champion, and that's it. So I have a record now, and then so it's losing the value.
It's
right?
Meaningless, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, it does.
So, but when people, when we feel that people supporting us, and then that means we are walking the right way, right? So we developing and we inspiring people. That's the most important, especially because ballroom. Now I feel. Sometimes I want to retire, but
really?
No, of course it's a mood. Sometimes you're really in the mood of not wanting anything, when especially if things doesn't go well how you think it should go. But that ballroom is only 30% now, and 70% is Latin. That makes me to think, and all the publics which I'm. Because I think you see that I'm trying to work on Instagram and everything, because that's how our world now working. Yep. People need to see things, and they see it through the platform. All publics pages which we're talking to, they are interested only in like 100 stars. Everything was published from Latin.
Really?
Yeah, no ballroom videos, nothing. They are not interesting because views is coming from people who dance in Latin,
right?
And it's very upsetting. Yeah, so that's my.
But that goes back to what you said before, doesn't it? About what we talked about with the ballroom basically being a bit boring, because no one's really developing it or making it interesting, because they're all producing the same rubbish all the time, aren't they? The same rubbish, and it is tedious.
Yes.
Very tedious. And as a spectator, and I'm quite emotional.
Yes.
And I want to be. I want the dancing that I watch to be emotive.
Yes.
I want to be touched.
Yes.
And I don't in the ballroom very seldom. Very seldom. There's very seldom a couple actually makes me feel positive or emotional about the dancing. Whereas in Latin, I get it a bit quite often.
Yes.
Actually, there's a lot more of that in Latin.
Because Latin don't afraid to do mistakes. Latin don't afraid to show the feelings, emotions, the touch. Yeah, it's all motion creates emotion and vice versa. So in ballroom is more about, I don't know why we are not doing that. It's not our approach, but it's all about technique. This is how it should look. It's all about how it should.
But who says that's how it should look, though?
Mostly ballroom society. Yeah. Mostly. Yeah. I mean, majority, right?
I'm being facetious, but who says it's supposed to look that way? Well, that's how it looked 50 years ago.
But the most important thing is that mainly they didn't dance like that.
Well, yeah, true.
I mean, we are talking about the generation when you say ballroom was touching.
Yes.
Right? And everybody in final was different.
Yes.
Right?
We're not dancing like they are today.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. But do you think they now teach what they didn't do?
Yes, but I think, so when you are a teacher, right? I'm struggling with this. So my couples, going on the floor with the couples who is producing very dynamic, sportive way of dancing, right? And everybody the same, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, and I'm, let's say, teaching them my way.
Right.
Right? What I believe is a movement about man and woman, motion, musicality, right? Freedom, expression. Yeah, maybe sometimes it doesn't look right, but yeah, maybe will look right.
Yep.
So then the result is not good.
Yep.
So couple come to me and say, teacher, you're teaching me something wrong. My result is not good.
Yeah.
So teachers, always under pressure. Do you want to have work or you don't want to have work? You want to be popular as a teacher or you don't want to be popular as a teacher? If you don't mind, so again it's about money probably. If you are secure with money and you don't care actually if you're teaching or not, then you just teach what you think you should write to teach.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're caring, if you have couples or not having couples, if you are popular, because it's also ego, couples come or not come, it's all related to the result. So it's like, I feel it's like that working. And I'm not sure where is the way out. But for sure, teachers teaching what is popular now. Young generation, I see like many dancers who was dancing with us, like they dancing completely different way than I see their students is dancing.
Right, yep.
Like why you are not learning?
Why are you not teaching what you did and what you believe in? Yeah, why do?
Yeah.
Do you not think that many dancers now, especially the young ones, want success instantly?
For sure.
They don't want to wait.
Yeah, but that's again connected to, I think, our time. Everything is very fast in our days.
Yes, true.
Yes, you want to order Uber, it's fast.
Yeah.
Internet is fast. Delivery, I don't know. You want to see video. Before you couldn't see the video. You go to Blackpool to see, and you wait for whole year to go to see live.
Exactly.
Yeah, now you just YouTube and then you write down everything, you see it. Yeah. Oh, he's doing this. Okay, I will do the same.
Yeah.
So.
But of course, that's not the same, because you can never get the same feeling from a video that you can from in the real flesh anyway, because it's two-dimensional.
Yeah. But same is with the development, right? Fast fix and really deep. To become a professional in anything, it takes many years.
I'm better now than I was when I was competing.
Sure.
Way better, because I've never stopped learning.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get more knowledge and understand more about what I'm doing and as a human and just in terms of movement. So it's constantly developing. I'm constantly getting better all the time. And I'm not unfit either, so I'm still able to do it actually. But I think many people just stop learning as well, don't they? So when and some people are successful and don't even realise why they're successful.
Yes.
And then, so when it comes to teaching, they don't really know what to talk about.
Yes.
They don't know how to teach
Actually, many teachers who I experienced who was really amazing dancers, sometimes very disappointing lessons. Because just, actually their instinct worked so well that they didn't learn things.
Yes, of course.
So...
That happens in everything, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, of course. Good teacher and good dancer is different, for sure. Yeah, and somebody who was not good dancers, very good teachers.
So I don't think we still addressed it though. How do you overcome all of the knocks? You know, the people not necessarily acknowledging how special you are. How do you wake up in the morning the next day and think, today I'm going to be special, and everyone's going to see how special I am?
I think me and Dusan, we don't try to prove anything to anyone.
Right. Okay.
Honestly, we are not again thinking about others, what they think. We literally don't really care what they think. You like it, you like it. You don't like it, you don't like it. Of course, sometimes we're getting upset about things and comments and results, but
you see, the thing is, of course, that goes against everything that most dancers think they need to do, because historically everyone has been trained to like everybody, smile at everybody, say thank you to everybody, and have this wonderful, pleasing persona all the time.
But I think it's also, especially...
But it's so false.
Is it also developed a lot in England now?
Well, of course.
The mentality is very important.
Well, it all came from here, didn't it? Of course, historically, what we do
not
now,
polite
Ballroom, came
to
from
say
here.
the truth.
No one likes the truth.
Yeah.
They don't like the truth, though.
Yeah.
They don't like to be told, that's no good.
Yes.
Or, you're no good as a teacher.
Yes.
For me, you know, it doesn't work for me. You're no good. It doesn't mean they're a bad person.
Yes.
It just means it doesn't work. And so how do you... And then people take it so personally, don't they? Well, I'm never going to mark them again.
You see, we hear with Dusan often comments that we are arrogant. People think that we are arrogant, and probably because of that, because it's not because we are not interested in the opinion, because for us it's important us. And we prefer be as us than to be distracted by other opinions and this and that. It's just our choice. So.
But you know what? I see it as, I don't care. I do care, but I don't care. If I'm judging you in a competition, I'm only interested in the moment that music starts and the moment that music finishes. I don't care how you get on the floor, what you do off the floor.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
My job is to mark and look at what you're dancing and judge that against other people that are dancing. I don't care. I'm not bothered if you're arrogant. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not bothered in the slightest.
As I see, not many people.
But I don't think you are arrogant. I'm not suggesting you are in the slightest. I understand you completely. But I can see how other people would think that, but that is a reflection on them, not on you.
By 100%, I think still personal feeling is connected to the judges, because we have many people who assume we are not good personally, or even, you know, we had one person who we never talked to,
right? And
maybe by voices or something, there's just no connection, or maybe he even thought that we are arrogant, or I don't know, not nice people, right? Mark has 6 all the time.
Right.
6, right?
Yeah.
And one time we met him in corridor, and Dusan just shake his hand. He said, "Hello, nice to meet you." Just smile, just warm smile first. You imagine?
But
so personal level, actually, he's not bad person.
But that is,
so
but you know what? That is so ridiculous, because that shows that, to me, that person hasn't got any true integrity in what they're doing.
Yes.
Because they're a charlatan. Do you understand the word charlatan?
Yes. Yes.
Because
charlatan.
they're not real.
Yes.
They're not being true to themselves in the slightest. Because clearly, it's got nothing to do with dancing. Then, has it?
I think judge is very difficult work. It's much more deeper than just to take the pen and judge.
Well, I don't think it is. I think judging is difficult, but only
you need
because
to
of
be
the
real.
time.
Do you understand it? Because you need to be a real person. You need to really know how to put all the things on the side. You need to be such in the present moment. You don't need to look on the floor, oh, this face I know and this face I know. You are not busy with that. You see in the moment the couple, are they good or bad?
Yeah.
Are they deserve to go in the next? And also you are playing with you're playing literally with the lives of the people.
You are, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because dancing world champions still influencing all the generation and dancers, young dancers, right?
Yeah.
So you're choosing the path where ballroom dancing will go.
I know.
It's a big responsibility.
Yes, and that actually brings me on to something that I think is quite important. So young dancers want to dance like the champion, don't they? Normally. Yeah. So they want to dance like the champion. So these young dancers go in for lessons and say, I want to dance like them. And so the teacher says, okay, you've got to do this, 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 and this to achieve that position. Now, how can those teachers tell those young dancers how to be a champion if you and Dusan are champions? Because they don't understand what you're doing. They've got no idea.
You came to the right point.
Have they? And there's very.
They should be brave to actually. So I think encouragement of the people. You don't need to know how, right? But I think I like 100% agree with you. I don't know how. I don't know. William is so fast or whatever, expressive, or right. He's not my teacher, right? But I appreciate what he's doing 100%.
Yeah.
And I would love if people can inspire from that.
Right.
So I can. You see, it's again, you want to be a famous teacher or not, right? So you need to teach same way, but you don't need to teach same way. Teach what you are good at, what you can do.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, I completely agree with you. So I believe that many times dancers are not becoming a champions, especially if they are just different and they changing the path of anything in any industry, right? People just afraid and scared of this unknown thing.
Yes, of course.
And because they don't know what is that. They don't know how to teach it, what is that, and it's kind of fear.
And it's a financial fear as well, of course, because it's their livelihood.
Of course.
So if they don't have anyone coming for lessons, because they're not going to have any work, are they?
But I think that is just also from desire from the teachers to not stay, because many people, I also feel, they don't want just to learn anything anymore. They think that's it. 50 years ago, that was a good thing, and that's how we should teach. Of course, principles are good, right?
Of course.
We are all evolving, so learn something new and teach. Maybe this movement, you need to learn something about that.
That's a foundation, isn't it? But then you put things on top of that, and you use elements of principles, and then you use different elements.
Yes.
And you don't use the same thing all the time.
Yes. But you make a very right point, yes. So we strongly feel that, let's say, a fear of making us, maybe some people think that we will be bad influencers to the generation.
Well, exactly. I honestly think that's the problem. I think that's what they believe. Because they are so stuck in their way. And they cannot possibly have anyone doing something different. And we have seen it historically before as well, haven't we? It's happened before. Where people where dancers were stifled a little bit, or not given the opportunities or the results they probably deserved because they were a bit different.
Yes, for sure.
And it's disappointing that the establishment allows that to happen. But it's all based on fear, their own fears of loss and not understanding what is actually in front of them.
But I think it should be in my opinion, it just need to be open to the changes, because nothing is constant than change.
Yes, absolutely
so
right.
Every champion will be different, and it's normal.
Yeah, but they haven't
That's
been,
how
have
the time is
for a
changed,
long time. Tell me when the last time Ballroom went in a different direction. It went in a different direction when Christopher and Hazel won. And it hasn't really changed since.
Yes. Quite long time.
A long time, nearly 20 years. Yeah. And Latin, though, I think has changed many times. It's quite disappointing.
Yeah.
But we have to keep fighting to change it, don't we?
All what we can control is our dancing, and I think all our competitors as well should. But it's difficult, of course. That's the always. So we think that they should continue to do what they believe. That my competitors like, yeah. But even from my side is again. So as I say, it's a circle. You don't know from it's chicken or egg, right? You believe in what you do, you develop that, and then you're punished for that, right? So then you make step back. So it's very difficult to find encouragement. But that's why I think it's very important to have your people, your team who believe in you, and you go step by step developing your dancing, and result will come. I still think that great dancing cannot be stopped.
I'd like to believe that is true.
Yes.
I would like to believe that is true.
If you are 10 heads higher, nobody can stop.
And really
People
true to
will
yourself.
Appreciate still. Yeah.
How are you? How are the things with your competitors? Do you? Because there are many. I mean, from my experiences, there are competitors that like to know everybody and talk to everybody, and there are competitors that prefer to be a bit more solitary and on their own and stick with their own little group of people. How are you with your fellow professional competitors? Do you get on well with them, the other finalists, or are you a bit more isolated?
We are in our own bubble, I feel, and I read somewhere people should not like you. If you're great, people should not like you.
Right.
Yeah, they should. Okay. They should fear you.
Right. Okay.
So.
Fear is not a good word, though, is it?
But
I suppose that's not a good.
That's again what we're talking about. Something what is different.
Yeah.
People, in good sense, fear, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what's that. It's unknown. So. We are not trying to be. I mean, we're normal. If somebody come to us and start to talk, of course we are super, like we will help and friendly talk, and it's all okay. But we try. We will not force anything.
Right. Yeah.
Let's say like that. Yes, and I feel it's again some camps or with who and who studying. Let's say who is your teacher, who is my teacher, what is your camp. Also it's connected to the way of dancing, people talking to each other or not. We are all fine, we are all saying hello to each other, let's say.
Yeah.
But I feel we are in our own bubble, and I like it.
Yeah, it's a good thing, I think. It's a good thing. I was a bit more feisty. I used to say things to other competitors, and they call it sledging. Have you heard of the word sledging? It's a cricket term, when and I think they use it in baseball as well, where the opponent says bad things to the other players and things to put them off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that a little bit. I used to do it a lot with Warren boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because growing up we were strong competitors because we lived close by and everything.
Other, yeah.
Say again?
Poking each other.
Well, no, he didn't though. He didn't. No, it was just me to him. Really? Yeah, we had that a lot.
And now what do you think about it?
Oh.
Would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I think it needs it. I feel as well back when I was competing and before, there was a lot more characters in our dancing as well, and it's all a little bit too sanitized now. And everyone's, as I said before, everyone's kind of the same. Whereas I felt that there were people that were prepared to be a little bit more edgy and say things that were perhaps a little bit naughty and a bit wrong, just to get a rise out of their competitors and that sort of thing. And yeah, I used to enjoy that side of things. Whereas now it all seems a little bit too professional. No one says anything. You know, whereas I would talk to people on the floor. You know, I'd say things and I'd shout out to them and that sort of thing. You know, I was a little bit. But for us, perhaps that's why I wasn't that successful.
But for us, it's not that we are ignoring people or staying professional. For us, it's very important just to be centered and. Do you have important to have this order between the two of us?
Yeah. Do you have like a mental preparation for a competition where you prepare yourselves in a certain way? Is it like a process that you go through to become because we used to work.
You don't need to get ready if you are always ready. It's not.
Okay.
It's not that we are for competition doing something special. It's
Okay.
just constant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're constantly working on
Yes,
that in yourself
yes,
all the time.
yes.
Yeah. Do you have? Do you meditate and that sort of thing? Then do you look into yourself and?
Yeah, for sure. Meditation is very important for me. Studying about yourself, silent time, letting go of many things, and good and bad.
Right.
Attachment to the good things and bad things. Yeah. You need to empty the cup.
Right.
To fill in the cup.
Yeah. You
So,
do. It's interesting. You have quite a healthy fitness routine as well, don't you? I've seen all your Instagram things about that. So is that a religious thing you do all the time, whenever you are, wherever you are?
Do
you feel like you have to do it?
It's just I don't know. I feel I feel fresh after that.
Okay.
Enlightening. Yeah.
When I say have to do it, I mean I've recently been on a health kick as well, not a health kick, but a fitness routine, and now I feel like I have to do it because if I don't do it, I don't feel so good. So I know I have to do it to make myself feel good or feel better. Let's say. And it's not like that. Then you just want to do it. You don't feel like you have to do it.
No. I know. I feel much better after.
Right. Okay.
And physically and mentally, for sure.
Yeah, it does make a difference.
So it's interesting. But let's say Dusan. Dusan is very social guy, and if he friend with someone, he will give everything to you. And sometimes, so we have Luca and Daria has a dog.
Right.
Something poodle, have a poodle, I don't know. Anyway, big and
hairy. Yeah. Curly hair.
Super, yes.
Yeah,
but super cute. Anyway.
Yeah.
First time and we have French bulldog.
Yeah, I've seen.
And he's rough.
Right.
He's like Dusan. He's rough. He likes slappings and very interesting games.
Yeah.
So Dusan see Luca dog and he's like, Charles, and he ran to him. He lift him, and he started to hug him, and he lift him. Right. After that, 2 years already. When he sees Dusan, he's hiding.
Really?
Yeah. And it was so Dusan gives so much love that sometimes that's why maybe you sometimes see on Instagram when I'm posting the pond. So some animals, when one is torturing another, that's constant. Like I hate when Dusan start to. His love is just unconditional. He needs physically and it's like a lot. It's a lot of Dusan. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So many people cannot think that he's weird. He's weird, definitely.
Right. In a good way, yeah. Weird, yeah. Well,
just weird. I'm also weird, so that's why we connected.
Right.
We are not simple people for sure.
Well, would you call it weird, or would you just call it unique or
unique, charismatic,
special?
For some people, it's weird.
Right.
Many people would say he's not normal.
But that's back to being conforming again, isn't it?
Yeah.
And everyone being in the same box. We're not all the same. We're all different.
Yeah. And also accepting, I think, and finding the way to. I don't know. It's interesting, no? Challenging.
Yeah.
When I went for tryout to Dusan, people told me don't go. He's sideman.
Yeah.
And I thought half of year and I split with him.
Oh, really?
Well, we found each other. Yeah, it's fine. Fighting, but it's fine.
But that's passion, isn't it?
Of course.
You've just got to learn how to direct that passion.
Even. Yeah.
You got to learn how to direct it. I was very similar. There's in psychology, one of my teachers talked to me about this, what's called an arousal scale, and I was always highly aroused, and Kelly was always under aroused. So it meant, of course, that we need to try and meet our energies in the middle, because I was always exceptionally fiery and feisty, and I would always go over the top. And when things got difficult, and Kelly would always go under, so it was to be able to find a nice happy balance, which we found about 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so it took us a long time.
Together?
2006, so what's that? 18 years. 19 years.
Wow.
No.
So you worked?
18 years.
You worked on that, or how?
18.
Or it came in naturally?
17 years. Can't do maths. 17 years. It's something we worked on a little bit, and I think that during lockdown actually it made a big difference, because we found ourselves a lot more. We had time to find ourselves. That sounds all very poetic and spiritual, but we went on a spiritual journey actually. and found out who we truly were. And Kelly did a lot of work on herself to find out what she was about and what was inside. And it's made a massive difference, actually, massive difference. I think retiring helped me a lot though as well, because I wasn't under this. I didn't feel like I was under the same pressures.
I think it's actually nice to have a chance to retire for some time and then get back.
Yeah, we didn't actually retire intentionally. We did our last competition, which was the British National in 2011, and then we just didn't do another comp because we just ran out of money. We had no money left, so we just couldn't afford to do it anymore. And I got a little bit disappointed and despondent on, spending so much money and then getting beaten by people who were really, you feel that this isn't right. I just don't feel this is right. To be fair, we did experiment a lot actually with our dancing, and we were doing similar things to you and Dusan do. Actually, we were trying to push the boundaries, do different things, and we got severely criticised for that, and severely criticised. Yeah.
But you see what
penalised as well.
I feel just a little bit wrong idea of the people who is ruling our dancing world. Ballroom dancing should become a pop. How we bring the money?
How do you bring the money?
Genial, bring the money into our circle, right? By making ballroom dancing popular.
Yeah.
Make people dance. Make people love dancing. Make people interested. Not fighting for this 30% who left what.
Yeah.
Right? Let's make it. Let's make it safe. Let's play safe. Nobody wants to dance like that. Safe.
But
let's make people interesting.
But everyone is dancing with fear. But
because they try to collect money from the people who already dancing, and then, as you say, many dancers. I know many my friends who already finished or thinking to finish because they're spending so much money on lessons, on travelings. It's a lot of money. Our dancing world is not cheap.
No, it's very expensive.
It's a lot of money for normal people. You say how much cost lesson. So you do something what you love, you spend so much money, but then no result. And this where to work.
Yeah, I mean, I would happily go back and do it again if I had a different mentality. Because now, if we were to dance again, we did actually start having some lessons to come back again in 2018. Then I hurt my shoulder, and then it just didn't happen again. I don't know, maybe do it next year. I don't know. I'm still feeling pretty good.
Come back.
Yeah, maybe.
We need new blood.
Yeah, maybe.
Fresh.
Old, new blood.
Old, new blood, yeah.
And we know that if we were to ever do anything like that again, the result would be so far away from our thoughts, because at the time, I believe you when you say you want to win, of course, but the result is not the absolute priority. Yeah, not the driver. It used to be for us all the time, and so many couples it is, isn't it? So many couples, the result is the driver. We would not do that anymore because we want to enjoy the process, we want to enjoy the journey, the touch, the feel, the music, the emotion of it all, moving across the floor, the feel of the wood under your soles of your shoes.
Yes, definitely.
And all of those things are so important, and so many people don't appreciate it. Appreciate it. And you can see that in their dancing. They just put their arms up and run around the floor.
But it's again, so here's the question, famous actually question. If you ask, I think, every top dancer or champion, they will answer to you different. What is important, feeling or look? Right? So many dancers who I like will answer feeling. So for me and Dusan, we rather be third, but we feel amazing on that day. And we satisfied it and put shoes off and put it. And happily go home and have dinner. Then to be first and we feel disaster. And even if they say, let's say people say, you danced amazing, my body doesn't lie.
Yes, of course. I've had that a couple of times.
And I don't want to fake and win because people think that's the right way. No, I prefer to feel great within myself and to love what I do.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Although, it's a difficult one. I remember when I was younger, I came second in a comp once, and I felt I danced horrifically. I felt awful, felt horrible, And my partner's parents and my parents were so happy that I'd come second. But I was really disappointed. I didn't like it. I didn't like this feeling. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And they just couldn't understand why I was disappointed. Well, you came second. It doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. It really does matter.
Yes. So I think, I don't know, but I don't think many dancers actually upset when they not performed well, if resulted well.
Many dancers, though, could put on a pair of boots and go and dance in a field and do the same performance in that field as they did last night at the Royal Albert Hall, because the environment, the environmental factors have no impact on them at all, because it's just a robotic, repetitive performance, rehearsed performance all the time. It doesn't matter.
Fake it until you make it.
Yeah, and that's nonsense though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't improve anything, doesn't develop anything. And emotionally, you are shallow. And it should, and life is about experience and feeling, isn't it?
But when you danced Royal, I'm just interested if it always was like this, because we caught ourselves yesterday that it feels like everybody's running around. Crazy. I don't know. I mean, I've heard that it was also seen from the audience, like everybody like on the something, and everybody trying to get the audience work. So then, and it was affecting us at some moment. So we feel this, when somebody's doing to you this.
Yeah.
So we start to feel this in our blood. So we're starting good, and then it's take over. So then we.
Well, all those negative energies around you surely have to impact you somehow. But I mean, I remember it as well when I was competing, because I used to, my early time of the professional, there was a lot more competitors, because that was before the split with the WDSF. So we had a lot more competitors, and many European styles as well. And you did feel that energy of the hectic, busy nature of everything. And it is quite off-putting when everyone's trying to do things in a very external way. It doesn't feel so good, and as a spectator it's not so nice, because it's like an assault on the senses. So it's like you're being hit with a hammer. Oh no, I think I did, but I didn't enjoy the early rounds. I didn't enjoy it. Well, I didn't mind the Latin. The amateur, I think, is still lacking in a lot of development.
Ballroom?
Yeah, a lot of development. And then really in the final I only watched you and Dusan, really. Although I did compare you to other guys a little bit, and then realised, it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah. It's just a shame there's not more people that judge their truth rather than...
Anthony Hurley said that there is not enough of experts on the panel many years ago. So. But I believe that we have a lot of experts, just how you say genders?
Agenda. Yeah, they all have an agenda, of course. As I said before, they have an agenda because they need to stay relevant. They still need to be involved. And if they put someone in a position, or put a couple in a position that jeopardizes their relevance in our business, they become redundant. And so therefore they are no longer important. No one needs them anymore. And so they've got nothing to do. So they have to work as a group to stop that from happening. And of course, if there's a majority of them, those people won't achieve, because they will stifle them.
And I hope one day we understand that benefit for all of us will be when dancing will become again popular and it will touch the people's hearts.
Well, I think that was clear. I mean, it's been clear for a while now that when the crowd often are on your side, because last night again it was so noticeable that when they called out the results, yours was the biggest cheer for sure, and then they called out second and first, and it was almost like no one was applauding in comparison.
Well, for me, it's the best reward.
Absolutely. Well, yes, yes.
But honestly, I will tell you from my heart, it's always, because we experienced it 3 times already. Last time Royal UK, UK was incredible also. And I need to let go of that and go on the floor clean. I don't want, because to me it's now, I feel this love from people. So of course you want that again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, it's like a drug, isn't it?
You go on the floor and you start to think actually about the people, and again,
right.
not about. So you are not addicted to result.
Right.
You're addicted to the love of the people.
Yep.
Right. It's also a different thing. So every time, like this time, I needed to really let go of that, because I felt like, okay, now is responsibility that people again like us. And then I really needed to let go of that and just be with my dancing.
We just have to hope that they listen to the people and realize the people are right, and hope they don't say, oh, well, the people know nothing.
But because you're saying that because you think that it's important for some changes in dancing world?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you think that it's important to win, to change the dancing world?
Well, it's very difficult to change something from when you're not in a position of authority or power. And being a champion gives you an element of authority or power. Not that you just, not power as such, but power to change things. So typically the people who are leading are the ones that can direct and actually change, have a fundamental impact on changing things. Because you can't do that from third or fourth.
You think so?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Until you break through, I don't think you can change much. Unless, of course, more and more and more competitors believe in what they are doing, believe in themselves rather than the establishment, or see someone, a couple like yourselves, and think, do you know what, I actually quite like that. I quite like what they're doing for themselves. I'm going to try and do that myself as well. But it comes down to the fear still, because they're so scared of losing what they've got. Why would someone who's pushing to get into the semi-final, who might get in at the next major, suddenly fundamentally say, right, do you know what, I'm going to stop having my lessons with these people, and I'm going to think about myself and develop who I am as a dancer? They're not going to do it, are they? It takes a lot of courage to do that.
Yeah, of course.
So dancers need to have more courage and be more courageous to really, truly become who they are and not a product of someone else.
Yeah.
God, that sounded good, didn't it? That sounded good. I might use that as a soundbite.
Proud of yourself.
I know. I do talk.
Sometimes you say something and you're like, wow, is it me? Wow.
Where did that come from? Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's definitely the truth.
So why Hong Kong? Something different. Why do you live in Hong Kong?
Hong Kong.
It's a long way.
Dusan is 18 years in Hong Kong. Yeah, it was the best. Hong Kong is the center of was the center where was all best dancers. Was spoiled by best dancers. Great economic, I guess, and they allowed to invite great dancers to perform, to work, to teach. They wanted to learn from the greatest. Yeah. So it started. I know Andrew was one of the first one also in Hong Kong.
I did some work. I spent some time in Hong Kong in the early 2000s as well. Yeah. It was very busy. It was the place to go to get on. Yes. Absolutely.
So, and then Dusan stayed there, and I joined him.
Right.
For us is good work. We have our great students there. Very supportive community, warm. For us, it works perfectly. During pandemic was definitely not easy.
Right.
With 21-day quarantine here and back, we was dancing still competitions. Was in the room stuck was difficult. Yeah. But now back to normal. Hong Kong is great because it's safe. Everything is very close to each other, right? All the studios. So, but at the same time, it's difficult because life is.
Yeah, it's very hectic, isn't it?
Yes.
It's very crazy, very busy.
We're running days, just running day after day after day. We're going to studio, to another studio, working, teaching, dinners. Crazy, yeah. And, but yeah, and also very good because around Asia, many comps. We're doing a lot of competitions there. So it's good for us, it works for us. But I didn't like, in the beginning, Hong Kong for me very difficult. Climate,
right?
Very hot, humid. Now I get used to that.
Where are you from? What city are you from originally?
I'm from Russia, 1,000 kilometers from Moscow. Actually, Italian city, Togliatti.
Togliatti?
Yeah.
Tagliatelle. Sounds a bit like a pasta, doesn't it?
But it's Palmiro Togliatti. He was a politician.
Oh, right, okay. Italian politician?
Yes.
And
Because
they named a city after
because
him
in Soviet Union they were like kind of friends.
Okay.
Russia, so they tried. In that time when cities, they call cities by the famous people.
Right,
so make
right,
friends.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So my city was called by this name.
Okay, fabulous.
Yeah, but nice city. Was nice city.
So how does a Russian and a Serbian who live in Hong Kong dance for England?
Dusan was dancing for England many years before with Greta.
Yeah.
He was living in London.
Right.
And then we just follow that.
Right.
Actually,
okay.
without any intention.
Mhm.
I sometimes feel that it's doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I was
I
very.
think nowadays it really doesn't.
Yeah,
make
it doesn't
any
matter
difference.
now. I mean, I was very patriotic when I was young, very patriotic. I'm still quite proud of where I'm from. But really, you're representing yourself, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're
for sure.
representing your name, who
Because for
you
me-
are, not.
I
Yeah.
danced for Russia until my youth age, and then I was banned in England for 10 years for just some stupid document reasons and
Oh,
all
really?
this. I mean, sometimes they just don't give visa because I was young, not married, and all
Yeah,
of that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they found some document which then banned me.
Wow.
And actually, government didn't do anything for me to grow for my life. Actually, to help me or
The Russian government or the British?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
no Russian government, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing I stuck with this problem that I cannot dance, right?
Right.
And then I moved even to Israel to get the passport. My mom is Jewish, so my mom
Right.
already lived in Israel, but I love Russia.
Uh-huh.
I'm also like, I don't know, I feel the place where I was born, and I'm also very patriotic. And like the land, I love the land and the place, just my relatives there and all. I think
Yeah.
everyone like that, family. And I didn't want to move anywhere. So then I was forced by that situation to move in Israel, and I started to love that country too. But also, like I said, because there was some just paperwork and like you need to live in country 365 days to get the passport.
Right.
So then I'm dancing. So then I decided I'm not going to dance anymore, and I still didn't know that even if I can go in England after that or not.
Right.
We decided with Dusan to split, and that he has his own career, and let's see later what's happening. And I just moved to Israel.
Right.
And then I asked government, can we dance for Israel, but you give me a passport now because I want to dance. No.
Right.
Nobody wants to do anything. For them, they don't have a sport. They have, they're protecting the country. They have innovations. They're investing money into something else. They're
Yeah.
not interested. Yeah. So literally in my life never was that some government did for me something. It's all with my money, with my blood and sweat,
Right.
with my family.
Yeah.
That's it. So you dance for yourself. Never was intention that England politically will help us. In this moment in time, it works somehow.
Well, it works the
Works
opposite.
different.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, historically, it always was, if you danced for England, you knew you were going
kind
to
of
be
an
successful.
umbrella, yeah.
But that all went a bit pear-shaped in the late 90s when there was 5 English couples in the amateur ballroom final at the Albert Hall. Yeah, and then it was 5 English couples and William and Alessandra. And that was the end. That was the end of the British dominance, let's say.
Yeah.
Because I think then some of the couples said, this is rubbish, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I was there that day. I danced that day as well.
Now it's more
Yeah.
young dancers, no amateurs from England. No.
Well, yeah, there's too many opportunities. Because if you're a dancer, as we've been talking about, and you don't feel you're valued, and you don't feel that the business has your best interests, and you go on the dance floor and you do your best, you dance your heart out, and then you get no marks, or you don't get in, or you come second or whatever, and you're going to get very despondent. And then something comes along where you can perform, get paid, and have a great time, then you're going to do it, like Burn the Floor,
Yeah.
Strictly Come Dancing,
Yeah. Like
all these
you
shows.
know, finished off.
Exactly. So suddenly you've got these other opportunities to go and do dancing that you love
Yes.
without any of the politics,
Yes, no
without
judgings.
any of the pain.
Yes.
And so we lost so many dancers. My generation in England, my English generation, I think there's a handful of us still dancing or still involved. Very few. So many that didn't. Because obviously back when I was like 17, 18, they were all English. All the couples were English couples. They weren't people dancing with Russians or Ukrainians or, you know, Asian dancers. It was all English. Very, very rarely did you get someone who was from another country. Yeah, so they lost.
And now
so
we
many.
have two, no? It's America and England, which is like kind of dominant, trying to fight against each other. Yeah, but for us, it's not doesn't make any difference. Literally, I would represent myself. Actually, many asking us why we don't dance for Hong Kong.
Right.
Is also they will not make any difference. So we just decided to stay where we are and not change anything. So. We was offered to dance for Russia many years ago.
Right.
But also, that time actually was many couples dancing for Russia, and also doesn't make any difference.
No.
So we just stay where we are.
Yeah. So what are you doing outside of dancing? I mean, surely you don't have much time because I know you went on holiday recently, didn't you?
Yes, we went for holidays.
That was nice,
amazing. Yeah.
But you don't get much time to do anything else for yourself.
No, we only trying to, like now after measures, we try to go home. That's kind of recharge. We still, of course, now I'm going to Israel. I'm still teaching, so seeing my students, and but I spend time with family at least when we have time, because we're traveling. Our schedule is so crazy, and at least I can count on the fingers how often I see my mother and father.
Right. Yeah.
So, it's difficult, after competition is also difficult. You want to literally go for holidays and stay in silent.
That's the bad part of dancing, where you have to travel so much. When you're successful,
I hate traveling. I hate packing.
I don't know how you manage, because I see a post and you're in Hong Kong, and then the next thing you're in Israel, and then you might be in Serbia, then you're in London, and then you're somewhere else, you're in Japan, and that's in like a space of a week. And when do you sleep? How do you cope with that?
Well, that's why, that's also one more thing. We with Dusan, we're thinking, we sacrifice so many things with our family. If we tell the story, Dusan also passed the war, money, sold apartments, so many our family sacrificed things. It's not seeing our family, not sleeping, dragging these luggages, waking up when you don't want to go to practice. Trains, we just was in the train literally, and when it's flashback, Dusan say how often I went to gym to practice when I was tired. And this, you remember just that, right?
Yeah.
On your skin.
Yeah. When
you didn't want, but because you fight for it, right? Your spirit, you go and you do it. Because now also, young generation, they're like,
they don't understand.
Easy.
Yeah.
No car, I don't go.
When I was an amateur, I had a full-time job. And I would go to work. I'd get up for work at 7, I'd go to work, and then after work I'd go straight, because I lived in Southampton on the south coast, near Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I'd go to London to practice, have my lessons, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Every week. Sometimes I'd have a day off on a Sunday, but most times it was a competition.
Yeah. So if you want to get something in this life, I'm sorry, but you need to have a pain sometimes. Yeah.
And they don't understand, a lot of these kids now.
Yes, no, people like to live comfortable now. Yes, definitely.
They don't understand. And then every penny I earned, every penny went into my dancing. Every single penny.
Yeah. So after thinking all of this and remembering all of this, is again making us agreed, both of us, that we want to do our own way.
Right.
And nobody will dictate and say what we should do or should not do.
Yeah. Well, that's quite beautiful. And I think that it's a shame that more couples don't have the same attitude, because I think it would make things much more colourful. And ballroom dancing, I think, would become much more popular as well.
I wish to everyone to be brave and a lot of courage to do what they want, and then we all together can make it again shine back.
Yeah. Back to the old days of when Friday night,
ballrooms.
when on Friday night at Blackpool, when
Yes.
it was the busiest night, the whole place
Yes.
was packed.
Yes.
Whereas now most people have gone home because the Pro Latin finishes on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, that's so
Yeah,
bad.
or whenever it's Thursday now. It's very sad.
I'm always frustrating and fighting with people. Why you're gone? Why you're gone? But then I'm thinking like, it's obvious why. I
know.
would also go.
Yeah, it is because it is a bit dull.
Yeah.
It's a bit dull, but it's not been dull talking to you. It's been very interesting talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being a dancer in my car. We weren't too controversial either, really.
No.
I think I was the controversial one when I said that there's a lot of teachers that are useless. That's quite controversial. Yeah. Yeah.
But we have hope.
Yes, we have to have hope. We have to have
Yes.
hope.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think all people are good people in the heart. They just need to awake a little bit
They do.
and do the right thing. Not to be late to do the right thing. I hope
It's
they will
never
not
too
be
late, though. It's never too late, is it?
I hope it's not too late.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. It was amazing.